136 Quintessential Sayings of Confucius. Asians might still be familiar with the phrases self-cultivation, family regulation, state governance, and world peace or benevolence, propriety, righteousness, wisdom, and faithfulness. These are two of Confucius's valuable teachings about the way of a gentleman. Confucius was a renowned philosopher during the spring and autumn period in China. His profound wisdom and virtuous character have resounded throughout East Asia and the world. Confucius's sayings are still passed down through generations. Below are 136 quintessential sayings of Confucius. These sayings are very simple but contain valuable life experiences from a remarkable and talented individual, a sage and a philosopher. If you read slowly and understand these sayings thoroughly, you will gain countless benefits. Whenever anger arises, think of the consequences. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Provide guidance to those who seek knowledge after they have realized their ignorance. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. By three methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Do not wish for a life without illness, for without illness, desires easily arise. Do not expect others to conform to your will, for such conformity breeds arrogance. The worst way of dealing with the world is not seeing one's own faults. Knowing that one is wrong and not correcting it is a true fault. Filial piety is the root of virtue. A bird sings its most mournful song before it dies. A man speaks his most genuine words before he passes. Examine your mind and do not seek to avoid all obstacles, as obstacles lead to deeper learning. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. Avoid making enemies in your hometown and family. Use people without suspicion, and do not use those you suspect. Knowledge removes doubt. Benevolence removes sorrow, and courage removes fear. At the banquet table, do not act like a hero, for many have fallen to the effects of wine. Everything arises from nothing. Without a proper name, words will not be smooth. Everyone has the right to education, regardless of who they are. When you love something, you want it to live. We should feel suffering but not be overwhelmed by it. A wise man acts before he speaks, and then speaks according to his actions. Only the wisest and the most foolish never change. Human ability will never catch up with demand. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon and stars. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Understanding what you feel and what you do not feel is true knowledge. If someone speaks ill of you behind your back, it means you are ahead of them. If you hate someone, you are defeated by them. A gentleman helps others without calculating the cost. A petty person calculates but does not help others. A gentleman associates without joining cliques, while a petty person joins cliques but does not associate. There are 3 types of beneficial friends and 3 types of harmful friends. Straightforward, honest, and knowledgeable friends are beneficial. Flattering, accommodating, and deceitful friends are harmful. A gentleman is harmonious but not conforming. A petty person is conforming but not harmonious. A gentleman seeks it in himself. A petty person seeks it in others. A gentleman is always reaching upward and moving forward. A petty person is always sinking downward. What a gentleman thinks about and worries about is virtue. What a petty person contemplates is wealth and benefits. Before embarking on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Do good without expecting a reward. To expect a reward is to have an ulterior motive. Do not grasp at profits. Grasping clouds the mind. A person without trustworthiness can accomplish nothing. Losing faith in friends is more shameful than being deceived by them. A person of virtue speaks only after action and speaks in accordance with their actions. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. When it is clear that goals cannot be reached, do not adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. Looking at small advantages prevents great affairs from being accomplished. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Light a small candle instead of cursing the darkness. Do not expect your career to be smooth and easy, for encountering obstacles strengthens resolve. Do not expect work to be easy. Easy work fosters arrogance. A person who does not plan for the future will encounter worries at hand. Do not worry about having no position. Worry about having no capability to take a position. Learn extensively, inquire thoroughly, think carefully, discern clearly, and practice earnestly. If your goal is for 1 year, plant a seed. If for 10 years, plant a tree. If for 100 years, educate the people. A fool despises good counsel. A wise person embraces it. A person who does not think and plan long ahead will find trouble at their door. Jewels cannot be polished without friction, nor people perfected without trials. The essence of knowledge is having it, to apply it, not having it, to confess your ignorance. Like water, a wise person adapts to circumstances. The palm tree bends and survives the storm. The mighty oak often falls after the rain. When you see a good person, think of becoming like them. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weaknesses. Attack the evil within yourself rather than attacking the evil in others. The hardest thing is to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if there is no cat. Feng Shui is useless if the mind is not good. Worship is useless if one is unfilial. Friends are useless if brothers are not in harmony. Reading is useless if actions are unrighteous. Intelligence is useless if it goes against people's hearts. Tonic is useless if one does not preserve vitality. Seeking is useless if luck is not on your side. The form of your mother and father, wisdom of life teaches hunger and fullness by oneself, wealth and poverty in human life. Joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain are all ordinary things. If you can't surpass others, try to be equal to them so that no one will laugh at or despise you. The ambitious love to learn, the non-ambitious love to play. Wisdom creates people. Virtue seeks friends. Success comes from deep virtue. Achievement comes from having teachers. Abundance comes from having friends. A good girl relies on virtue. A strong boy relies on power. Beauty attracts many. Power commands respect. Adaptability ensures survival. Dynamism ensures success. Wisdom achieves results. Endurance wins battles. You know yourself in adversity. You understand friends in hardship. Poverty comes from inferiority. Ignorance comes from arrogance. Virtue and talent surpass wealth. Happiness surpasses riches. Loyalty brings longevity. Deep love brings happiness. Talent alleviates hardship. Strength alleviates poverty. Ignorance follows blindly. Understanding benefits greatly. Failure comes from haste. Mistakes come from rushing. Be wary of praise. Stay calm under criticism. Too strict, few friends. Too lenient, disrespected. Promises kept show wisdom. Belief in lies brings trouble. Do good without expecting repayment. Remember kindness, forget favors. Weakness invites oppression. Rigidity invites breakage. Precious things are hard to find. Easy to get are often poor quality. Cheap things are usually worthless. Misusing people invites disaster. Inner beauty surpasses outer beauty. Gracefulness surpasses pride. Tread carefully. Think before acting. Knowledge aids life. Proactivity aids success. Be cautious of fame. Do not let go of yourself. Avoid deceitful people. Trouble comes from favoring others. Do not boast of talents. Do not show off wealth. Learning is never enough. Understanding is never too much. Virtue cannot be bought. Do not be discouraged by failure. With virtue and courage, hardships lessen. A virtuous wife brings honor. Good friends are treasures. Poverty comes from pride. Desperation leads to rashness. Be mindful in love. Know your place in weakness. Do not count housework. Do not weigh favors. People with blessings are favored. Living unjustly invites disaster. Living unkindly invites prison. To beg is shameful. To submit is cowardly. Jealousy is petty. Oppression is cruel. Adversity brings enlightenment. Hardship brings clarity. Be strict with yourself. Be kind to others. In victory, prepare for defeat. In harvest, prepare for famine. Habits are hard to break. Drunkenness is hard to cure. Dependence leads to ruin. Recklessness leads to folly. Competition invites disaster. Over-accommodation invites trouble. Family love is paramount. Living in harmony brings joy. Lack of love invites deceit. Even gold and stone can be broken. Teach well, children thrive. Accept guidance, children excel. Intelligence comes from learning. Strength comes from practice. Living for others ensures longevity. Discipline children from birth. Advise wise early. To understand, you need to listen. Show the good, cover the bad. What is useful will last. What is harmful will perish. Too many ambitions lead to troubles. Too many desires lead to complications. Haste brings regret. Overcaution leads to obsolescence. Knowing others is intelligence. Understanding yourself is true wisdom. Humility is self-respect. Arrogance is self-destruction. Premature promises are hard to fulfill. Cowardice is hard to succeed. Resentment arises from fame. Struggles come from positions. Wealth invites envy. Talent invites jealousy. Greed for wealth leads to madness. Greed for power leads to cruelty. For money, people become callous. For love and virtue, people endure. The wise speak concisely. The ignorant are boastful. The powerful are greedy. The guilty are obsequious. The foolish are easily deceived. The talkative invite trouble. Silence earns trust. The greedy seek favors. The ambitious flatter. Honesty invites hardship. Frankness invites harm. Wisdom invites suspicion. Spoil children, they will be ruined. Excess wealth corrupts children. The rich manipulate, the poor follow. The talented are hard to befriend. The lazy are hard to guide. Sincerity leads to success. Boldness leads to achievement. A gentleman values reputation. A petty person values profit. The untalented are demanding. The cunning are seldom humble. Deep affection is hard to forget. Debts of love are hard to repay. The wise are hard to tame. The talented are hard to guard against. Acceptance brings peace. Resentment brings suffering. Precious things are hard to keep. Prayed for children are hard to raise. Rich families often lack children. Large families often lack wealth. The overly clean are hard to approach. The poor often lack guests. Fame brings envy. Quick money is hard to keep. Life is a matter of fate. Success and failure are natural. Victory and defeat depend on wisdom and effort. Do not waste time. Think deeply. These are 136 quintessential sayings of Confucius that we cherish. They show that Confucius placed great importance on self-cultivation. When the mind is clear, the character kind, and persistence honed, then setting goals, building a career is beneficial and feasible. Confucius's sayings also contain profound teachings about dealing with people. First, treat parents with utmost filial piety. Then advise wives, teach children, and behave harmoniously with family members to maintain family warmth. In dealing with society, be humble and avoid making enemies. Confucius also emphasized the importance of continuous learning and self-improvement. A gentleman should understand the times, adapt, and rise above adversity. Confucius also spoke about governing and ensuring peace for the people. He emphasized the importance of educating the people, teaching them the necessary knowledge for a better life. Truly valuable and insightful sayings. We hope these sayings will help you gain valuable life experiences and always bring you joy and peace. Feel free to leave comments below to motivate us to continue making videos on this topic.